2017 has probably been the most insane year for news in the state of Alabama since the 1960s. Political news, in particular, was beyond chaotic this year. Let's take a look at just some of the stories we've covered since this time last year and wonder just how the hell we made it through. On the 20th of January 2017, we inaugurated the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump. While this isn't specifically Alabama news, it does kick off a series of events that will drive most of the news for the next year or so. On February 8th, Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions was confirmed as Donald Trump's Attorney General. Sessions was the first senator to endorse Donald Trump during his presidential run, doing so at a rally in Huntsville, Alabama in August of 2015.
Make America great again.
On that same day, former Alabama Governor Don Siegelman was released from federal prison, where he'd been since 2012 on bribery and obstruction of justice charges. The next day, on February 9th, then Governor Robert Bentley appoints Alabama Attorney General Luther Strange to the now vacant Senate seat, despite the fact that he was supposed to be under investigation by Strange's office at the time for a scandal that would eventually force his resignation. A lot of folks considered Luther Strange's accepting of this appointment a deal for halting the investigation. It would end up costing Strange the Republican nomination for this very Senate seat just a few months down the road. In March and early April of this year, the Bentley scandal came to a head, culminating in a very detailed impeachment report that dropped on the 7th of April. Governor Robert Bentley and his alleged affair with former chief advisor Rebecca Mason back at the beginning of 2016. I'm sure you all remember that. Wow, look at my hair. Bentley resigned 3 days later, on the 10th. Alabama Lieutenant Governor Kay Ivey was sworn in an hour later. Just a week later, the new governor, Kay Ivey, rescheduled the U.S. Senate seat special election to the 12th of December, up from November 2018. 8 days after that, Roy Moore announced that he would resign his position as Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court to run for the open Senate seat. Moore had been suspended from the bench in 2015 by the Court of the Judiciary for instructing probate judges in the state to refuse to issue marriage licenses to gay couples following the United States Supreme Court decision legalizing gay marriage. Later in the summer, former state representative from North Birmingham, Oliver Robinson, was charged with bribery, among other ethics violations. Robinson allegedly took money from a coal company and told his constituents to block the EPA from testing their soil for pollutants. Since then, 2 people from the Birmingham-based law firm, Balch & Bingham, and 1 from Drummond Coal have been charged with bribing Robinson. On June the 14th, North Alabama Representative Mo Brooks was among the targets of an assassination attempt when a gunman opened fire on him and other Republican congressmen practicing for a baseball game just outside of Washington, D.C. Mo Brooks almost immediately used the incident in a campaign ad in the Republican primary for Sessions' Senate seat.
Congressman, does this change your views on the gun situation in America?
The Second Amendment right to bear arms is to help ensure that we always have a republic. So no, I'm not changing my position on any of the rights that we enjoy as Americans.
The primaries for the Senate seat were held on the 15th of August. Former U.S. Attorney and relatively unknown candidate Doug Jones won for the Democratic ticket. On the 22nd of September, Donald Trump stumped for Luther Strange at a rally in Huntsville. While he was there, Trump took the opportunity to call football players who were kneeling during the national anthem sons of bitches.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
4 days later, Roy Moore beat Luther Strange in a runoff to become the Republican nominee for Alabama's U.S. Senate seat. Donald Trump immediately deleted all of his previous tweets in support of Luther Strange. On November 9th, a date that most newsrooms in Alabama won't soon forget, the Washington Post published a story detailing the accounts of 4 women from Gadsden, accusing Moore of inappropriate encounters when they were teenagers, and he was a district attorney in his 30s. The allegations sent the campaign reeling. Roy Moore would not answer questions publicly or talk to the press for the rest of the campaign.
You are the fake line news from the swamp!
And yes, that's what you are.
Monday of the following week, Beverly Young Nelson would become the 5th accuser of Roy Moore, saying that he sexually assaulted her in his car in the 1970s when she was a young teen. 2 days later, AL.com reporter Anna Claire Fallers would report on the 6th accuser of Roy Moore, Tina Johnson, who said that Moore groped her in his office in 1991 when she was an adult. The allegations and the ensuing media frenzy would turn out to be too much for the Moore campaign to withstand, even in such a deep red state. He lost to Democrat Doug Jones in the December 12th general election for the coveted Alabama U.S. Senate seat. He has yet to concede the race to Jones. This has been quite a year reporting news in the state of Alabama. We'll see you in 2018. For Reckon, I'm Ian Hopkins.